Hi, this is Red Tag Roscanell, and I'm coming to you from Burbank, California. That's right, I'm coming to you from Adam Schiff's district. If you have been watching Adam Schiff on television and you have watched The Desperation, then you have also been watching the videos from Red Tag Roscanell. Because when I went into Adam's office and I talked about the whistleblower being Roscanell myself, that I was the whistleblower in Hollywood that has been chased down for 21 years. I showed my verdict. I showed everything to Adam Schiff so he could not hide anymore. And I'm going to tell you something that I did not know. I went in there and I talked about my verdict. And my verdict was obtained in the court of Judge Paul Boland. Well, guess what I did not know? And it was vacated. They vacated my case, said, sorry, Mr. Cannell, we're going to have to throw your case out, and they gave me a bill for $327,000. And you know what? They got caught. They got caught because I found out what they were doing was called a vacatur. And they got caught, and when they got caught, I'm going to tell you, here I am 21 years later, and Donald Trump, I want you to understand, you've been looking at whistleblowers and people going to Ukraine from Schiff's office. Guess who Adam Schiff has as his chief of staff? Paul Boland's son, Patrick Morrow Boland. You can't write that. I found that out the day before Thanksgiving. So Patrick, when I came in there talking to Adam Schiff and reading my verdict that I obtained in your father's court, and I said, what are you trying to hide? Now I know why he hired you. He hired you to hide it. So I'm gonna show you here, Patrick. This is for you. This is the Patrick Boland edition. Patrick Boland, who works for Adam Schiff. Patrick Boland, your dad threw out my case. And before you laugh at me, here, look. This is who you work for. You see that? And he is standing on the names of the dead from Metro Color Film Lab. You understand me? Patrick, these people are dead. They're dead. Okay? I want you to understand something. They're dead. And look at this. There's my bill, $1,053. Filed June 27, 2014. Patrick, your dad did that to me. So now I owe $1.8 million for a lawsuit that I won. I won, Patrick. I won in your dad's court. And let me tell you something. I will never forget the day that he walked in. And he said, my 10-year-old son today gave me words of wisdom, and he shared something that you had said at the breakfast table in our court, and it endeared me to you. And here you are, working in Adam Schiff's district. I killed film. I worked in Hollywood. I worked in Burbank, California. Look over here. You see that? That is Studio Town right there. That's where I work. You understand? And what I did was right. Those people died. And I went in and I stuck up for them. And I stuck up for the people that I worked for. And this is who did my case for me. And she vacatured my case. But I want you to see something, Patrick. I want you to see this, and I want you to see it right now. Look at this. Look at the defendants. Look at who they are. And look what they did to me. Look what they did. Negligence causing injury, strict product liability, ultra hazardous activity, civil conspiracy, battery, negligence. I got a verdict. Patrick, check this out. This is in your dad's court. I stapled them backwards so we could get to the point. Look, $750,900 equaling $1.65 million. Yes. You understand that? That all says yes. It doesn't say no. And it is signed by the jury foreperson. And this says $5 million in punitive damages signed by Lynette Lewis White, the jury foreperson in the trial. Okay, you have to understand something, Patrick. What happened? What did they do in this court? Patrick, do I have to read it to you? I'm going to read it. This is the Patrick Bolin. What the heck are you doing in Adam Schiff's office trying to impeach our president edition? It says right here, look at this. By Kenneth Reich. 2 ways our California courts keep decisions under wraps. And that says, oh, and let's forget all the text. Let's say someone, Ross Gunnell, wins $100,000 in a court decision that might be a precedent for other cases by injured consumers. But the defendant, Time Warner, agrees to pay $150,000 on the condition that the plaintiff agrees to stipulate that the court decision be reversed. That way, no precedent, which means they bury it. They say, hey, look, we'll give you 1.5 times $1, but we're going to bury it. Well, what happens if they give me 1.5 times $1 and my attorney decides not to give it to me? What happens? You have no protections in place. Adam Schiff, no protections. You're stealing the money. You are stealing the money. All right? Who wrote this article? Ken Reich. Well, who did he use as his reference? It says right here, Bernie Bernheim calls this a judicial pocket veto. A judicial pocket veto. You get to put my verdict in your pocket and hide it from the world. I won a jury of my peers. They were my peers. And I won. And you guys stole it. Bernie Bernheim. Who's Bernie? Here's Bernie. Look at him. Yeah, that's Bernie, all right. What was he doing? Was he handing over my money? What was he doing in that picture? Is he handing over my money? Bernie Bernheim, Martina's buddy, her partner. What else does Bernie Bernheim do? Oh, Bernie Bernheim, producer Stephen J. Bernheim. Oh, wait, that's right, Bernie Bernheim. He has a bar number, 143319. Stephen J. Bernheim has a bar number, 143319. Oh, Stephen J. Bernheim, producer. Chaos. This is him arguing with Siskel and Ebert, talking about a movie, a horror movie that he did because he's got to spend my money somehow. He has to make horrible movies so he can waste my money and give it to dog charities and stuff. But listen to what they say. Mr. Ebert, would you prefer if instead we exploit these ugly, nihilistic, and cruel events by sanitizing them like the PG-13 horror films do or like the cable networks do to titillate and attract audiences without exposing the real truth, the real evil? Mr. Ebert, how do you want the 21st century evil to be portrayed in film and the media? Tame and sanitized, titillating and exploitive, or do you want evil portrayed as it really is? Ugly, nihilistic, and cruel as you say our film does. Bernie Bernheim talking about ugly and cruel and evil after he stole my verdict. Adam Schiff, why don't you tell Donald Trump what's going on in your district? People steal your verdict and then they chase you down forever because they got every single city employee that will go after you for any reason. You go into the building department, they will harass you. No matter where you go, they will harass you. That's right, I won. And I want to show you how I won. Let's talk about this. Here, this is quick. Let's see. I already went over how Martina talked about the forgery, that they forged my signature in court. Okay, but now we're going to pretend, she wants to pretend that we lost, right? We lost? Okay. After the verdict was rendered in April of 1999, defendants tried to argue that the only defendant liable for the judgment should be the original employer, Metrocolor Labs, which had gone out of business in '89 and had no assets to satisfy any judgment. This issue required yet another round of briefs and hearings. Eventually, I was able to convince the trial judge to enter judgment against entertainment giant Time Warner Entertainment LP, given that Time Warner had acquired all of Metrocolor's assets through a series of convoluted mergers, and thus should be liable for its liabilities as well. Thus, in addition to the statute of limitations defense, the workers' compensation defense, and the causation defense, I also had to win on the complex issue of successor corporation liability. Defense counsel's argument on this point delayed the actual entry of judgment for almost 90 days after the trial. By delaying entry of judgment, defendants were able to save approximately $160,000 in post-judgment interest. My post-judgment interest was $160,000 over 90 days. How much money did I win? How much money did you steal, Martina, from Ross Gunnell? How much did you steal? Bernie, how much did you get? I want to know who. I want to know who and how you guys did all this. You guys saw who the people were. Well, this is what here, look at these books. Look at this book. Look at the size of this book. What volume is this? Volume 10. Check this out. This 10. There's more. There's 11. But check this out. You go in here and it talks about Adams versus Murakami. Who's Adams versus Murakami? It means that when you sue somebody, you go after the net worth of the mother company. That's what it is. Adams versus Murakami by Bernie Bernheim or Stephen J. Bernheim. Oh, look it up. It depends on who he was that day. That day, he was Stephen J. Bernheim. Okay? And Stephen J. Bernheim wins. And look at this. Here's the net worth. Look at this. If you got a traffic ticket and you were worth $5.1 billion, you'd get $46,000. A $30,000 a year guy has to pay that same ticket. That's 0.9% of his. So they're paying less than 1% of their. And I didn't even get that. I got nothing. I got $0. And they've chased me for 21 years. And now I finally see a president that can do something for me. And I'm going, oh, look at Donald Trump. He's draining the swamp. And what does Adam Schiff do? He goes into double drive. Look at him. Look what he's doing. No due process. What did I have in my case? I had no due process. No due process. They took the money and chased me down and gave me a bill. The bill is to make sure you shut up. Well, I'm not shutting up. I'm not shutting up just for you, Donald Trump. Please come and save Ross Gunnell out here in California. This was just, I did what I could do for today. I try not to make them too long. I don't want to bore anyone. But let me tell you something. It's time for all of the crime to stop in Los Angeles. Get rid of Adam Schiff. I'm voting for Eric Early, and I'm going to tell you why I'm voting for her. He's an attorney. Don't think that doesn't scare me. A little bit, it does. But he's willing to talk to me about vacatur and about what's wrong with the public policy part of a private bargain. Private, which means it's legal and it's private. So she doesn't have to tell even me. She's got money somewhere. Where is it? What are you charging me interest on? What money? You have an unliquidated claim. You told Judge Morris you got an unliquidated claim. And what the hell is an unliquidated claim? I'm a laborer for a living. That's right. Yeah, you brain damaged me at the studios. You know what you did? All you did was piss me off. That's the part of my brain that you ruined. But everything else works just fine. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, I got 2 kids. I got a 7 and a 9-year-old. And I don't talk like that with them. I talk like this with them. And I'm going to tell you, but I am trying to get my point across to Donald Trump. Donald Trump, in the state of California, they vacate your case, especially when it's a big, good one. It's a lot of money. They spread the money around to all their buddies and all their favorite charities. Like Bernie's got a dog charity. His wife runs a dog charity on my money. And my 2 kids aren't going to be able to go to college because why? You're going to steal everything. Something happens to my wife. What happens? You guys know what happens. They take this house. That's right. They take it and I have nothing. Okay. Donald Trump, Ross Gunnell. You know where I live. And Adam Schiff, you know where I live too. Because look behind me. See that house right there behind me? Oh, not that one. The one behind it. You've been there. Yes, you have. You've been there. You've been in my neighborhood. And let me tell you something. I'm your constituent. I'm the constituent that you're looking for. You said you're going to come home and talk to your constituents. Come on, Adam. Come home and talk to Ross Gunnell. I dare you. I dare you. You don't have the guts. I could out-argue you any day of the week because you lie. You lie. Firsthand, I was at Metro Color. I saw those dying people. I saw the skin rip off of their body. And 2 years later, when I was on an ultimate frisbee field playing ultimate, that's right, I play ultimate, Burbank full bore, no lazy pigs. And let me tell you, I was on an ultimate field, I was cutting one way, cutting another. One day I said to my buddy Babbitt, man, my feet are killing me. He goes, yeah, it's hot out here. No, my feet are, I got down on the ground. I pulled the whole bottom of my foot off both feet. 10,000 blisters on the bottom of both feet. And I had no bottoms for 5 months. Where was I working at the time? Stage 10 at Sony, the closest stage to Metro Color Film Lab. Oh my God, I wonder if that's a convenient coincidence like everything else. There's no such thing as a conspiracy, but there is such thing as a phone call. Peace, love, and Burbank. Adam Schiff, I'm voting early before it's too late. Eric Early for Adam Schiff's seat. Bye-bye.